So let me tell you something that surprises a lot of people. Your hormones do not control you. Stop blaming the hormones. Your habits are what can make or break you. So, what are you doing on a daily basis? Every hormone in our body, from the thyroid to estrogen to cortisol to insulin, see, they're not all sex hormones, they respond to signals from our body and our environment. These signals can come from our guts, from our liver, from our food, from our stress. They're coming in through our nose, our eyes, our ears. They're coming in through our skin. When we learn to send the right messages, the hormones begin to cooperate. So let me know in the chat if you've ever felt like your hormones are running the show. So I am Jen. I am a whole food plant-based culinary coach, a health educator, and I help people with their hormones. Usually it's autoimmune thyroid, other autoimmune, but we're focusing on hormones. I've helped women with thyroid issues, adrenal fatigue, autoimmune flares, and I've helped them reconnect to their natural rhythm through food and daily choices. It can be really simple. Hormone balance doesn't just come around at certain ages, puberty, menopause, your cycle. We have hormones all throughout our body, and they're communicating everywhere. And food is one of the most powerful languages that our hormones understand. So, are you eating real food? Pay attention. My number one rule is always read the ingredients. So, if you're buying all of your food in the produce department, it's not in a box or bag, congratulations. But anything that you're buying in a box or a bag or any other container that has an ingredients list, always read the ingredients. So when people tell me my hormones are crazy, what they really mean is my body's communication system is jammed. Your hormones are messengers. They are not the problem. So when we're tired, when we're moody, when we're bloated, our hormones are saying, hey, I'm waving the white flag. Something upstream needs attention. So here's what that upstream means. Maybe blood sugar is out of balance. Too many highs, too many lows. That can keep cortisol and insulin on edge. When's the last time you had your fasting insulin checked by your doctor? Gut inflammation that disrupts our estrogen metabolism and our thyroid conversion. If your gut's a mess, well, your thyroid probably will be too, and that's going to really affect mood and gut, digestion, body temperature, so many things. Liver overload. So when our liver is overloaded, overtaxed because we're eating things we shouldn't, eating foods we're sensitive to, exposing our body to different chemicals, then that slows down estrogen clearance and hormone detox. And so then that's when people start ending up with things like estrogen dominance. That's also where thyroid hormones are converted. And so the liver is really key. Stress and sleep loss. We have to keep cortisol regulated. We need to pay attention to when that cortisol is high. And when cortisol is in control, that can suppress progesterone and thyroid. So then we're in a low mood as well as having those thyroid symptoms. So it's not just something that's random. This is your body that is being responsive to what you are providing it. Every bite we eat sends hormonal instructions. So that's why I said always read the ingredients. Leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables, brassicas. We hear about these dark leafy greens all the time, and cruciferous vegetables are broccoli, cabbages, Napa cabbage, bok choy, Brussels sprouts, turnips, radishes. There's lots of cruciferous vegetables. These dark leafy greens and these crucifers help support liver detox so estrogen can stay balanced. It also is very high in minerals, helps with repairing DNA. And so we definitely want to make sure we're eating lots of greens and cruciferous vegetables. Healthy fats. So when we see things like don't eat seed oils, well, I see a problem there. Just like a carb is not equal to a carb, a seed oil is not necessarily a seed oil. Cold pressed organic flax oil that was just freshly squeezed One time not highly processed is in a completely different category than a highly processed, non-organic canola oil. And so we have to pay attention to the type of fats. But when I'm talking about healthy fats, I'm talking about whole food fats. So fats found in avocados, chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp seeds, walnuts. These are super healthy fats. They help us balance our hormones, stabilize our blood sugar, cool inflammation. Lemon, herbs, spices, bitter foods. These help with bile flow and hormone clearance. Anytime you're using those herbs that have that vibrant smell, they're very antimicrobial. Basil, oregano, rosemary, all of those, they are full of nutrients, vitamins, minerals for our body. They help with liver detox, with the gallbladder. Colorful fruits and polyphenols. So berries, mixed berries, pomegranate, those things, they lower inflammation, they balance our microbiome, they help with our gut, and they protect hormone receptors. And then nuts and seeds. So I put them there. We have healthy fats, but then we also have nuts and seeds. Same category, different category, who cares? They help regulate estrogen and progesterone naturally. You may have seen, you can Google it, seed cycling. So some people pair different types of seeds depending on their cycle to help regulate, and I've seen wonderful responses. It sounds really woo-woo, but I've had really great results with many of my clients using that. And we need to make sure that we're balancing. So if you are not eating any dairy or drinking dairy, but you're drinking almond milk and eating almond yogurt and making crackers out of almond flour, that's a lot of almond. Almonds can be really good for us. They're alkaline. But if we have too many of that, there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. We need to balance that with omega-3 fats, which are in walnuts, hemp seeds, flax seeds, and chia seeds. So another thing we need to look at is our meal timing. Skipping meals or eating erratically can spike cortisol and disrupt thyroid hormone balancing. We need consistency. We need safety. And all of that helps us go into balance. So I do see good results with intermittent fasting, doing a 14-hour overnight fast, those kind of things. But in some clients, if they are suffering from adrenal insufficiency, meaning they don't create enough cortisol, skipping meals can add more stress to the body and can actually make things worse. And so we want to make sure that we are looking at you and what's going on in your body to see if dropping to only 2 meals a day is right for you. Some people can wait till noon. Is that you? I don't know. We have to see if it's better for you to eat within 1 hour of waking because you are not creating that cortisol in the morning. So after my thyroid treatment, remember I had radioactive iodine, my hormones were a mess. My hair was falling out. I lost my eyebrows. You can see I still only have a little bit of those. I was wired and tired. My emotions were all over the place. And I thought that I needed more supplements. I'm not taking the right things. I'm not following the right diet. I need a stricter diet. I need to remove more foods. But what I really needed was balance. When we start thinking, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this, you can hear the stress coming up. And that stress is not helping us with our hormones. Once I started eating regular meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with meal spacing in between to help with blood sugar balancing, adding cruciferous vegetables, balancing my proteins and my fats. So I used to be on a meat diet. I was one of those that did have like bacon at breakfast, meat on a sandwich at lunch with cheese. Usually I had cheese at every meal. That was the hardest thing for us to give up. And I always had meat at dinner. I was a huge meat eater. Now I don't eat any meat and I don't eat any dairy. And I'm not telling that you have to do that, but we do need to look and see what's the right diet for you. And yes, I am type A. So people say, well, if you type A blood, you have to have meat. Guess what? You don't. And so we need to look at you as an individual, not as someone in a certain category to see what's right for you. So I ended up, once I made these changes, I had a better mood. I had more energy. My sleep improved. And that is key for balancing our hormones. So what can you do? Eat regular meals. No more skipping meals or living on coffee because that sends your adrenals into panic mode. That adds more stress. Now, if you can go more into intermittent fasting, then great. We will help you do that. But still sticking to regular meals. Support your liver daily. Lemon water, if that's right for you. Cruciferous vegetables, figuring out the best way to cook them for you. Adding in herbs, using things like dandelion tea, and staying well hydrated. Make sure you always have a drink with you. And then keeping your blood sugar in balance, pairing things like fiber and fat and protein at every meal, not having naked carbs can also help you. And then sleep and move with your circadian rhythm. Your hormones rise and fall with daylight. Give your body that rhythm. That means waking up and going to bed at the same time every day of the week, keeping your body in that routine, allowing your body that time in the bed to sleep. Focus on calm. Stress chemistry is hormone chemistry. You can't supplement your way out of chronic stress. People say, well, I'm taking this adaptogen and this adaptogen and this adaptogen. Adaptogens are great, but you have to make a change as well. You still have to do the work. You can't just put in supplements. And then eat colorfully and seasonally. I talked about the rainbow foods and the polyphenols. We need lots of variety and lots of color for balancing the microbiome and keeping those hormones flexible. So instead of adding supplements, add in cruciferous veggies, dark leafy greens, eat consistent, balanced meals, and focus on restorative movement and calm. When your body feels safe, your hormones feel safe and send the right message too. So if you've been trying to fix your hormones, it's time to stop fighting them and start talking to them in a loving, kind way. Self-talk is important too. Inside the culinary healing circle, we do just that. We use food, daily routines, those types of things to support our hormone balance naturally. Join us if you're ready to learn how to restore your hormone communication system at culinaryhealingcircle.com. Your hormones are brilliant. They're listening to everything that you eat, that you think, and that you do. When you start sending the right messages, they respond beautifully. So join me and share this with a friend who needs to stop fearing their hormones and start feeding them instead. Wrong word. Anyway, thank you for listening and check out the next video.